The following video is intended for the adult collector and is not recommended for children under the age of 13. Parental discretion is advised.
Hey guys, it's Optimus Prime. I'm back in another video, and today I am going to talk to you guys about Earthrise Optimus Prime. And what it seems like is he might come either with blue hands or with gray hands. Let's take a look at this. Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Okay, so the big question is whether or not Earthrise Optimus Prime is going to end up having gray hands or blue hands. And that is to do with this new Earthrise toy that is coming out next year. And a lot of people are wondering, you know, what's the deal with his hands? Well, at New York Comic Con, they had renders of Optimus Prime with blue hands. And then when they showed the figure on the diorama at New York Comic Con, he had, as you can see here, gray hands. Actually, this wasn't at New York Comic Con. They had like an off-site for press only on a diorama. And one of the people there asked John Warden, who is the head designer for Transformers, asked him, they said, what's up with Optimus Prime's hands? And they were like, oh yeah, the hands are going to be gray because of where the plastic matches up with the molding on the toy itself. And I think that also has to do with the back part of his legs as well. And he's shown here with yellow eyes and a blue face, which is very reminiscent of his G1 toy. But the fact that he has gray hands is a little off, because we know that Optimus Prime is supposed to have blue hands. And a lot of fans are like, I want him to have blue hands. There are people who are on both sides of the fence, whether or not about his eyes, but his hands, that's where it's like they want the hands to be blue. And, you know, from what we see now also with his in-package, you know, mock-up here is a gray-handed, yellow eyes Optimus Prime in his packaging, and he's got gray hands. And fans are like, well, what the heck? What's going on with this? Why is his hands gray? You know, you see here, this is the actual images that they used for the pre-renders, and the hands are blue. And yes, the eyes are, you know, yellow as far as the model is concerned. But everyone's like, well, why aren't his hands blue? It just does not make sense. And of course, this is what his truck mode's supposed to look like. Well, it seems that they have gotten more in-hand images. I believe this is the YouTuber Tauntaun. I believe he's in Hong Kong. He usually, I don't know if it's China or Hong Kong or somewhere in Asia. He usually gets, you know, a lot of these toys before they're released to market. And he usually gets in-hand images, does a review in another language, and I'm like, you know, it's cool to be able to watch it, but, you know, he ends up showing one with blue eyes and blue fists, and the crotch plate is blue as well, like it's supposed to be, and, you know, it makes you wonder, is the hands the right color? Are they painted? Taking a look at his actual truck mode, though, you can see that they actually store the gun on the on his back of his truck, and it's inspired by MP10. I know I've seen a lot of people say in the comments, they're like, Siege and, you know, the Earthrise stuff, the Chug stuff, it's all cheap garbage. I'd rather just stick with the Masterpiece, and you're more than welcome to. Masterpiece toys are for the adult collector who can afford to buy these. I can't afford a Masterpiece Optimus Prime. You know, the MP44 is like $400. Earthrise Optimus Prime is going to be $50. And to be quite honest with you, I'd rather have a more affordable Optimus Prime that's easier to transform and matches the size of the other toys that are being released to market, especially when you know some characters are never going to end up being made as MPs. You know, and, you know, MP figures are usually much larger, but they've learned from MP10, as well as the Studio Series Optimus Prime, how to make an effective looking truck mode for, for it being G1 Optimus Prime. You can kind of see the differences. I almost like this truck a little bit better, but I think that this, the Earthrise truck does meet that, like, it's a good Earth-style truck for Optimus. I still think the Studio Series truck mode is a lot better. And the fact that he can store his weapon in the back, it gives you a good place for weapon storage. And you can see him lined up alongside other Transformers as well. And his truck mode's not bad looking. I think it's a really good looking truck mode. I know some people are not happy about the trailer, about the parts here in the back, because some people are like, oh, that looks like training wheels. I kind of see where you're coming from. Maybe they could have made the wheels a little bit bigger. Maybe they could have made certain parts a little bit bigger, but I think they were going for a certain aesthetic, and they handled it pretty well. I think his robot mode looks amazing. And if he does have blue hands, I'll be a happy camper, because otherwise I got to whip out the blue paint. And I won't think twice about whipping out the blue paint. In fact, I might actually do so with the back of his legs and actually take some paint and paint those parts, those parts in the back. And, and same thing with his eyes. I think his eyes are supposed to have that G1 colors. If you're going to go all out and make his windows like this blue and everything like that, you might as well make the fists blue too. Just give us a little bit of extra, the fact that we're spending money on a leader class toy, and we want something that matches that G1 Optimus aesthetic. I mean, remember something, for all it's worth, the War for Cybertron toys, they really are directed, in my eyes, I think, towards the adult fan. They're okay for kids, but they're directed at the adult fan. The Studio Series stuff is for people who are fans of the movies. Me, I'm not a fan of the movies. I like the Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus Prime. I like his truck mode. His robot mode, I prefer this style robot mode over this. And that's personal preference. People really like this. Some people really like, flames on his chest and truck mode, Michael Bay styled Optimus Prime. That's not my style. I like this aesthetic for Prime, and again, it's personal preference. But again, this is where I'm probably going to end up using some blue paint on the back of his legs to make him look and feel like he's supposed to, to be, much closer to that G1 Prime. His transformation is fantastic. Let me tell you, just looking at him, and I haven't seen the video yet. I haven't actually seen the video of how he transforms, like how you go from one mold to the other. But just looking at it, you can tell that they've taken a lot of the cues from the Siege toy and they've applied it to, to this Prime, and they've taken cues from MP, and they've taken cues from this and that. Here he is next to MP10's trailer, so you can see the combat deck, and the actual combat deck part here is removable. So I think that's kind of like part of the whole, that like here it becomes his shield, because very much like Siege Prime can have a shield like this, it can become an axe as well. Like, you can do that here with the trailer part, but this part is supposed to connect with things like Ironworks and other Earthrise, figures that are coming out. And you can see here that the combat deck part comes off and attaches to the side of his arm and becomes like a cannon. And I think that's kind of cool, because it adds to the playability, to the fact that you don't have roller, I know some people are like, no roller, no deal. And I wonder if roller is going to end up being a secondary toy, like within the Earthrise, lineup. And that would be pretty cool, because you can see here that the Matrix is removable. You can remove the Matrix. And we're curious of whether or not these eyes are going to end up blue and it's going to be a gray face, or it's going to be a blue face and yellow eyes. We don't know. We don't know if it's going to end up with, gray hands. At the end of the day, I'm hoping that this Optimus Prime toy, like, matches that, like, affordable version of a masterpiece, but not as complicated as a masterpiece, and yet can fill in the shoes for those who want it and don't necessarily want, an Optimus this size. Because I think that, in my opinion, personally, I think the leader class for Optimus is a little too big when you compare him to things like Combiners, and when you compare him to things like Titans. You know, a play style for Voyager class is better and matches Siege Megatron, because we don't yet know if Megatron is going to be part of Earthrise. I saw in one of the comments that someone was talking about was like, you know, I really would like, you know, Megatron to be a gun again, which is, again, one of my Transformers discussion videos. Maybe they might make Megatron not released in the Earthrise line, and instead, you know, maybe an Earthrise Soundwave might come with Megatron in gun mode. That would be cool. That would be really cool. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of Earthrise Optimus Prime? Do you think he's going to end up with blue hands that might be painted? Do you think that he's going to end up with plastic blue hands? Or do you think he's going to end up with gray hands? And what side do you lie on as far as the eye color? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have a new Transformers discussion video coming before Thanksgiving, so stay tuned for all that. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also help support the channel either on Patreon or becoming a channel member. And you can also see my merch in the Teespring store as well. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.